You are now listening to the Battle Rap Arena Show with your hosts, URL Zone, Norbs, and Jesserican.
Welcome to URL's Battle Rap Arena. Jesserican with Street Star Norbs. Norbs got a lot of feedback from the show last night, but I know a couple people wanted to holler at Norbs. 818, you wanted to talk to Norbs about the Disaster Cannabis battle. Go ahead.
Yo, what's up, Jesse? What's up, Norbs? How y'all doing today?
I'm great, brother. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. This is Crash. I'm calling from Hawaii, originally from the Wild Hundreds of Chicago. I want to give a quick shout-out to the Unbiased Review Facebook group. But the reason I was calling, Norbs, is I remember a couple of weeks ago I heard you had mentioned about the cannabis and disaster battle, how you felt that disaster was going to probably body cannabis. And it kind of threw me for a loop because I respect your opinion. I've seen you, give your opinion on, like, Queen of the Ring battles and everything, and I respect your opinion, so I was really shocked when I heard you say that. Because Disaster, as dope as he is, as a battle MC, cannabis is on a whole other level lyrically. And if we're talking bars over jokes, I mean, cannabis is a student of the game. The dude studies. I mean, it seems to me like there's this whole old school battle rapper versus new school thing. Like I hear people saying about Mook and Lux and how they would do against rappers today. My thing is, my thing is, number one, like when Disaster battled Swave Sever, cannabis ain't no Swave. Disaster went in there and he did his thing against him, but cannabis is a whole nother animal, bro. I mean, his lyrical ability, we're talking one of the greatest of all time.
Let me ask you a question. This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
How many battles have you seen cannabis have?
I have not seen any cannabis battle, but I've heard his
No. There's a difference between a rapper and somebody that's going to battle and perform in front of a large audience. There's people that can rap, and then there's battlers. And people underrate the ability to go up on stage and battle. It's almost like somebody not playing basketball for 10 years and just deciding to go play against an NBA All-Star and beat him. And that's where Disaster is. Disaster is if you hate him or love him, is one of the best to do it, hands down. And cannabis has never done that. He was in the Rap Olympics. He battled Rob Digger and Eminem in 1996, and this is a whole nother era. I honestly think he's not going to make the adjustment. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's going to be able to adjust to this day and age in terms of battling, and I totally disagree with you in calling him one of the greatest of all time. Like, I can't even...
No, not the greatest. I'm saying he's one of the greatest lyricists of all time.
And I'll be honest with you, I totally disagree. I think he had a run. I think he wasn't a great MC. I'm not a fan of his music, and this is just me being... I think Cannabis has more of a legend than fact with him. I mean, he's probably going to hate me for what I'm going to say, and I'm not saying it's not going to be an entertaining battle, and I think it's great for the sport that Cannabis is coming into it, but I honestly think Disaster is going to 3-0 him and make him look really bad. That's just my opinion.
732, you had a question for Norbs?
Yeah, Norbs, what's good? What's good, Jesse?
What's going on, man?
Ain't nothing, chilling. Hey, yo, Norbs, I was listening when you had Bill Collector and what's that girl name? Ash Cash or something like that? Mm-hmm. When you had them spit a little, when you had them spit some bars. Why you don't get everybody to spit bars when you get them on here?
I mean, it's cool. You know, it's an interview show. Sometimes, it all depends on the show. We kind of try to switch it up. You know what I mean? Sometimes we'd like to get to know our guests and let them do what they do. So, we kind of switch it up,
All right. Well, what about just the up and comers, not so much the veterans, but just Bill Collector, Rosenberg, certain people like that.
I mean, we are gonna do it. On occasion, we're gonna switch up the shows, different formats, try to stay fresh. So just stay tuned. You know what I mean?
All right.
Anything else on your mind?
Nah, not really. I just want to listen.
All right, no problem. Just hold tight. 614-475. What's on your mind?
What's good, Norbs?
What's good, brother? How you doing?
Yeah, I seen the flyer that dropped for the March battles, and I thought Cortez and Young Ill were battling on that card. Is that a later date or something? Oh, okay.
I mean, they're not doing it right now. I mean, the battle's not off the table. You know, Cortez does have a battle prior to that. I'm not going to really speak on that too much. So, you know, he had other, how do you say, he had other things he had to do, basically. So, hopefully we can get that battle rocking later. I think it'll be a great battle. I think Young Ill's at the top of his game. I think Cortez at the top of his game. And, you know, eventually we're going to have to do it.
All right.
614-282. What was on your mind?
Yo, what's good, Norbs?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Shit, I'm coolin'. But shit, I wanted to let you know, I came out there for the Lou and shit, and due to the schedule change, we had missed all the battles, and I emailed Beasley. Yeah, bro. I mean, we came from Ohio, and we got an email the day before, but we don't check emails like that. So we in the car on the way, and they talking about 1:30, and I'm on the other side of Indiana.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
Well, shit.
I mean,
we emailed Beasley, and he already said he going to comp us for the next event. And I wanted to tell y'all, good looking out for that.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I really wanted to apologize, man. We didn't, you know, it wasn't really had nothing to do with us, so, you know.
Yeah. I mean, Beasley explained all that. And he still said, he still said he gave me a cell number, said just call him, let him know what event we trying to be at. And he got us.
I mean, we're very fan-friendly here, and we definitely appreciate the fans, so you know, I'm glad, you know, everything was handled correctly, brother, to be honest with you. You come out March, it's going to be crazy. We're going to have a lot of fun, man, real talk.
Okay, now we'll get into the guest of our real deal. We got you on the line with us.
Yo, what's going down, bro? What's good, North?
Well, this is my buddy right here, real deal. I've been a fan of you for a while. You know what I mean? I've called you on numerous occasions for battles for myself. You was ducking me. And, you know, but real talk, what's up, man? Welcome to the Battle Rap Arena. My main man, real.
Yo, yeah, thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, I mean, real, man. You just came off of, I just watched your battle with Awkwards. You got crazy. You've been putting in work for the last couple of years. You really started to get a lot more respect. And in that battle, you actually stated that you weren't getting the respect you should have been getting. When you took that battle with Awkwards, what was your mindset in that battle? Why did you even take that battle, knowing that Rome, I guess, kind of really kind of took him out?
Really, man, it's a battle. I kind of agree with you, man, because it could have happened, you know what I mean, a year and a half or so prior to when it did. Then I guess Awkwards was kind of saying, like, oh, you know what I mean, we ain't battling now because Real don't show any interest in it. I really wasn't at first interested in it after the Rome thing. But then I just figured, you know what I mean, it's going to be a good event. You know what I mean? His name, he's going to be hungry to come back. His name does still hold some weight, so it wouldn't be, you know what I mean, it wouldn't be that bad of a look. So I did the battle, you know what I mean? I got motivated for it, but yeah, at first I wasn't too too into it because, like I said, it's a battle that could have happened, 2 years, a year and a half before when his buzz was, I think, a lot bigger, and I know he didn't want to do it at that time. So it was kind of, in my opinion, it was kind of like, oh, okay, so now you got humbled. Now you trying to come up off me now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I did the battle for it anyway.
Now, your resume is extremely extensive. Like, you've battled a lot of MCs that are popular today, and one of them happens to be in the URL, Cortez. And the reason I bring him up is because, he made the transition to the URL very early, like maybe 2 years ago, and you kind of stood back and you battled Cortez, you beat him, and you just, continued to work, and the fans continue to call your name, and you continue to work. I was at the Team Moneybags battle, and it was an amazing performance. He kind of fits the mold of a smack. No problem. I'm just keeping it real. He kind of fits the role of a smack rapper. Moneybags. When you battled him, how did you break him down? Because you seem to be real strategic with the way you put your rounds together, and going into that battle, how did you strategize to break him down round by round?
Well, the way I looked at it, man, is like that was a week after the Awkwards one, so it was just such a relief, like, because Awkwards is like a real personal rapper, so you kind of, I think, with somebody like him, fight fire with fire. And a lot of times I don't like doing that as much. I would rather just, spit bars. So with Moneybags, who's the opposite, he just spits bars. It was a lot bigger relief. So I kind of looked at it as, in the middle of New York. Team Hami has a strong following. You're not going to go up on stage and really, out street cred the dude. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take a different route. So I figured, the first two, just trade bars with him. I didn't want to dig up anything personal about dude. Just trade bars with him. And then the third one, I was going to try to use the one angle. Take the one risky angle that I had. You know what I mean? So
now, in my opinion, it was pure genius what you did, and you came up with this whole Team Moneybags makes clothes for a job interview, which I thought was fucking one of the most creative things, creative strategies I've ever seen, and you impressed a lot of people in that building. I mean, Beasley was in the building, Chico was in the building, and we were there. Well, I already knew of you, and we've been hearing a lot of you before that, and we've contacted you before to come to Smack. And finally, Beasley and Chico, Chico seen you live. You impressed the hell out of us, and now you're making your first appearance March 25th at Any Given Sunday against D-Magic. Tell us about that. What do you think about that battle, and how are you going to make the transition to Smack?
First of all, I think D-Magic is dope. I really do, man. I'm real late to catch wind of up and comers, just because sometimes it takes a lot of hype from, because there's been so many. You're in the same situation. So many times you heard, yo, you got to check this dude out. He's dope, and you check him out, and he's absolute trash. And you're like, it hurts every time. You're like, damn, man, I'm on, the next dude I got to hear an even bigger buzz about. So, I finally had got around to watching him and John and him and Clean Paper. And I definitely think he's dope, and he's got bars, and it's not, you know what I mean? He could spit for sure. So, I was definitely excited about that. I think as far as the transition, man, I don't think that there's this whole, different you know what I mean, like monster to conquer, man. I think it's just going up there and doing your thing. Like everyone thinks, like, oh, URL, you can't joke like it's all. So I mean, I'm not saying, but that's not the case. I've definitely seen, you know what I mean, people like the Young Ills, people like that, like make mockeries of people and be successful at it, you know, clean paper, whatever. So, I think it's just being polished, man, because that's, you know, the more and more URL battles that you watch, there's not a lot of stumbles. There's very little slip-ups. There's very few quote-unquote chokes, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think that's like one of the biggest things is being polished and perfecting your craft before you go out there, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because regardless if your bars ain't really that dope, you shouldn't be in any battle league. You know what I'm saying? Really. So you know, URL being the biggest one right now, and it has been for a while. Like, you definitely shouldn't bring it there. But I feel that if your bars ain't really even on point like that all the way, you shouldn't be oversaturating the shit anyway. So I think it's more like being polished, man, before anything.
Now, what problems do you feel B-Magic is going to bring to the table? How do you view him as an MC, and what do you think he's going? How do you feel you're going to be able to take advantage of maybe some of his weaknesses? What do you think he brings to the table against you?
Well, two things, man. That I think. One, he's not a stupid dude, and what I mean by that is he. You know, even if he doesn't really check up online and read comments, he's got to know that one of his biggest criticisms are lack of energy and substance, you know what I mean? So, you know that's going to be something he's going to work on if he wants to, you know what I mean, take it to the next level. So, unfortunately, or fortunately, either way, he's coming off, in my opinion, not a very strong performance against Young Cannon. I really expected him to do, I think, a lot more with that. I mean, granted, I think it was Young Cannon's best performance, but I really, at the end of the day, thought Young Cannon beat him, and I thought pretty decisively. So I think he's going to be hungry, man. You know what I mean? I don't think he's completely oblivious to what people say. You know what I mean? As far as, you know, people are like, man. People had high expectations going into the battle. I heard he really did his thing against Rosenberg Raw. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not sure when it does drop. So, you know, I'll be anxious to check that out too. But I think the Young Cannon battle definitely might have humbled him a bit. You know what I mean? He's going to be back stronger, back more hungry with it. But those are the two things I would say right off.
Now,
you know what I mean?
In terms of the crowd, do you feel there's a difference in controlling the crowds in the three, because you've battled the King of the Dot and you've battled in Grind Time. Their crowds are a little more similar. How are you going to adjust to the crowd, and what do you think is the difference between the URL crowd as opposed to the Grind Time crowd?
I think the URL crowd is more demanding, and rightfully so. They're not going to come out and be like, make some noise, he's doing his thing. Like, they're not, they know where punchlines fit, you know, like, let's say every fourth bar, eighth bar, but they're not just going to cheer because you said one, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it seems like they're not afraid to boo you, you know what I mean? And it seems pretty unbiased the way they boo people, you know what I mean? They'll boo somebody from the home state, they'll boo somebody from away. They're there, they paid the good money. They want to be entertained. They want to be entertaining, you know what I mean? So they're not as sympathetic, they're more demanding, and I think that's a good thing, you know what I mean? Because you've probably seen so many times people go out, you know, like thinking that they killed a battle because the crowd showed them love. When in actuality, it's just like, damn, you know what I mean? They just gave you, you know, sympathy love out there. So I think that's more demanding, man. They want to be entertained. And I don't really see, I think the crowd seems so large that it's hard, you know, you can't just bring even if you bring, let's say one dude brings 30 people, you know, in a smaller crowd, that's going to be like the whole crowd, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have the whole crowd just by people he brought. But it's a good thing that URL, you know, has so many people come out, so that can't happen.
Now, it's crazy. A lot of people give you shit for, you know, what you do for a living, what you're a teacher, and it's amazing because it doesn't faze you, and you seem to be able to flip it on them like it's nothing, and I definitely commend you for that, because I think it's hilarious when, I think there was a bar when I was watching the Team Moneybags battle, and you told him something like, you know what's gangster? Paying bills and working, like, and I thought that was genius. Iron Solomon made the transition. Yeah, no problem. Iron Solomon made the transition. So did SoulCon. Now, it's up to you. And a lot of people, a lot of fans have been asking for it. They've been going crazy. This is your debut. How excited are you to prove to everybody that you belong with the best of the best?
You know what, man? I'd be bullshitting if I said I wasn't real excited about it, bro. Because I'm you know, for the first battle in a while, man, I could really say I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's difference. Like the Awkwards battle, you know, I wanted to win, and you know, I wanted to do my thing and whatever. But being like the box I had to put myself in, no pun intended, to battle Awkwards. Wasn't, you know, I wasn't as excited about. The Moneybags battle was cool because here's an up-and-comer, man, and has been just with every battle improving. But now, you know what I mean, it's cool to click on things and see, like, you know, Magic's going to hand him his ass, like, Real Deal ain't going to be able to make it out there under you. You know what I mean? Because those things, you got to use it as motivation, if anything, man. So I don't look at a 2.5-year-old battle with Cortez and be like, oh, you know, I'm ready. You know what I mean? Like, I don't look at anything like that. So I'm definitely excited about the opportunity, man, for real, and especially with the caliber of opponent coming off. You know what I mean? A loss, I think he's going to come back 1,000 times stronger, which is going to make me up my pen game, my work ethic. You know what I mean? So I'd be bullshitting if I acted like it was just another day, man. It's gonna be something else.
Now, this is something I always wanted to ask you, and I don't know if you want to elaborate on your personal life, but it's based on your job. You are a teacher, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Now, what grade do you teach, if you don't mind me asking?
I teach all through, man, K to 8. You know what I mean? I was in the high schools before. I teach.
The reason I'm bringing up is, do these kids recognize you off of this battle stuff? And because I know a lot of times I walk around, people recognize me off of this battle stuff, and you're one of the most popular battlers. How crazy is it, like, being a teacher and a battler at the same time? Like, that's kind of, to me, it's kind of nuts.
Yo, it's pretty funny, man. Like, when I battled Source, he had this bar about basically, like, it was genius the way he did it, but it was breaking down him saying, basically, you think you're like this Michelle Pfeiffer, but you teach in these all-white schools. But the funny thing is, I teach in, like, the inner city of Pittsburgh, right? Mm-hmm. So, every so often, you definitely get someone who's like, yo, man, you be freestyling, and I just like, nah. And to them, it's so inconceivable, like, they're surprised you even know who Lil Wayne is. Like, forget the fact that, you know what I mean, of course you know who dude is. He's been out for forever. They can't separate, like, a teacher doing with their job from having an actual outside life. But I definitely got, I was in the high school the one time last year, man, and there was definitely somebody who was like, yo, you be freestyling? I said, nah. He's like, nah, you look like this dude to be freestyling. Like, nah. So I guess his homie had come in, whatever, and said he had to grab something off him. And then I look back like 2 seconds ago, and I hear like this volume, and it was the Cortez battle, like they was playing it on their phone or whatever. And I'm like, yo, man, you got to turn that off. And dude was like, yo, Mr. W, you was kind of snapping though. Like, so like, to them it's so inconceivable that most of them, if you just like, no, that ain't me, they'll come like, oh, all right. But some of them do catch on, man. You know what I mean? You just gotta be like, it is what it is. You know, they think it's cool. They don't really give you shit about it.
Catch on? Because that is actually pretty dope. Like, you're like the cool teacher, like, and I've been to Pittsburgh, by the way. In Pittsburgh, when you say inner city, that shit is the hood. Like, that is not.
Yeah, they got some gully spots in Pittsburgh, man. So
people have a big misconception of Pittsburgh. I mean, I was out there for, I was recording at ID Labs. That's where I used to always record in Pittsburgh. Shout out to
that's what Wiz on them, yeah.
Yeah, I know Wiz back then and all that. And they took, Joe Beast, good friend of mine, he's an artist that was signed to Aftermath for one time. They took us to the hood, and the projects, it's like an entire neighborhood. Like in New York, we have projects like a few buildings and they go up high. Like in Pittsburgh, the projects are like an entire neighborhood. So I definitely see, I know exactly what you talk about when you talk about like how hood it is out there, and that's insane. But I mean, man, you got to be a celebrity in your school, just working. You're one of the biggest battlers out there. That's got to be a great feeling.
That's cool, man. Like I said, you know what I mean? Especially like in these, some of these, you know, these cities like, where you said, Joe Beast, he's from the Hill District. So that's like a, you know, a hood-ass area in Pittsburgh. And, you know what I mean? Some of the kids, like the young kids, I don't think the real young kids don't catch on as quickly. Once they hit like, you know, 6, 7, 8, they catch on. I've definitely had a lot of kids like, yo, and they're usually like real cool about it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's what's up. Because in their eyes, a lot of them want to rap when they get older, want to do these things. So they're excited, you know what I'm saying? Like, they view teachers a lot of times as out-of-touch people. So, you know what I mean? It works out, you know what I mean? It does. It's cool. I don't obviously, like, promote it, you know what I mean, in the schools and shit, because, you know, I'll be saying some shit in battles that, you know.
Oh, no, you're a disrespectful motherfucker, just like so.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, I try to for the ones that really get it, I try to put it in the context, you know what I mean?
Man, I fuck with you heavy, my nigga, heavy. Now, after the B-Magic battle, what do you see yourself, where do you want to be in terms of battling? Who are you looking forward to battling? Who's on your hit list? Who do you want to see in that ring? Is there a possible rematch with Cortez possibly? Can that brew? Who do you want to battle? And why?
As wild as it is, man, for someone like Cortez, who, man, I tell you what, man, I just think Cortez has at least from the, I'm not saying like it was because of the battle me or whatever, just improved like vastly on so many different levels. Mm-hmm. Cortez, as wild as it sounds to me, would be someone I'd be like, man, you gotta earn your way back up to battle. You know what I mean? Because the dude is putting insane work. Like, you know what I mean? Put great battles out with cats. So, to me, I was thinking about it, but I was like, I literally, man, we've talked about it before, and I was like, you know, this person will be a good match, this person. Now I'm just like, B-Magic. And then we'll see what happens after that. You know what I mean? Because I'm not an arrogant dude. I'm not going to battle B-Magic and you know what I mean, not have the result that I think that should happen or that I want, and then be like, I'm trying to, you know, holler at somebody who, like, for example, like Big T, who's coming off a fantastic performance, and be like, that we should step in that ring. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of corny. You know what I mean? I think a lot of egos in battle rap really, like, interfere with someone just being an honest person, man, at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So, I think decide after that, you know what I'm saying?
Now, do you feel as if a lot of the URLMCs are going to avoid you because of the fact of you coming from a different league? And, you know, I'm just going to state the obvious that you're, you know, a white MC. Do you feel as if any of these guys are going to step to the plate, because it was difficult to get Soul Calm battles over here, and you know, and that is an issue. What do you have to say about that? And do you feel as if these guys will battle you?
I think it's all about making, you know what I mean, providing the incentive, man. Like, it's all about giving somebody a reason to want to battle you. Unfortunately, like when battling used to be in like tournament format or whatever, you had no choice. Like if person A beats B and C beats D, you know what I'm saying? Like they're going to battle. Mm-hmm. Whereas nowadays, I don't think the best battle rappers necessarily are divided in terms of views. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? There's more to it. Like, just for example, I think on paper, I don't think like, you know, someone like Arsenal, I don't think he has the best pen game. I mean, he's not my favorite battle rapper, but he's got an insane grind, and he's been doing things that no matter where he battles, he's going to bring crazy views. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just the way it is. I actually, you know what I mean? Like, to me, an A game B Magic, I think is you know, one of the top 2-3 pen games in his own state, but view wise, you know what I mean, he's gonna fall back. So it's all about providing incentive. The White, as far as, you know, White, I mean, I guess, yeah, I could see. I mean, there's always, man, we don't got to bullshit. There's always like the hood mentality of like, man, you can't lose to a white dude out here. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's hoops, rap, whatever, you know what I mean, a fight. There's always been that. You know what I mean? So it's something that, you know, probably still around. You know what I mean? It's bullshit, but, you know, people will definitely catch extra flack for it.
And I mean, I know growing up as an MC, I mean, especially in Pittsburgh, I know you had to deal with it growing up. So does it get tiring? Like, it's like, bro, I'm just an MC at the end of the day. You know, I know you've definitely had to deal with it. Do you ever just say, damn, just look at me as an MC and let's battle the best MC versus the best MC?
You know what? To an extent, the thing that with me is just like, I'm cool. Like, I'm happy with who I am. You know what I mean? And like, not the bullshit. Like, you'll meet a lot of like white MCs who, and you know, I could be wrong, but it just seems like they're just not like they're not happy with who they are. Like, you know what I mean? For like an easy way of saying it. So, and I think that's always given me more love that people are like, okay, he's not trying too hard. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool with it. I mean, racism exists in battle rap no matter what. You know what I mean? There's for every, you know, white dude that gets called out for being nerdy, there's an Asian dude that gets called out for something. You know, Jin made his career off of turning it into a positive for him. You know what I mean? On 106 for flipping that. You know what I mean? Every time he even though skill-wise was better than every dude he battled on like 106 in Park, he immediately became the underdog every match. You know what I mean? Based on racism. I mean, he had, as I remember, like, you know, black people cheering for him, Asian, everybody just viewed him as the underdog. So that's one thing I always didn't want to do coming to a battle, is like using the white person as an underdog effect or some shit. You know what I mean? It's going to come to the surface, but I just rather just spit bars and beat people that way. You know what I mean?
No, man, and I like the approach you're taking because, like I said, I mean, I view MCs as just MCs. I don't really care about what they look like. And I think if you are the best MC, you should be able to beat anybody. You know what I mean? And that's just real talk. But I know the fans got a shitload of questions for you, so we're going to go to the fans right now. Jesse, let's go to the fans and
614, you live on the air with Real Deal. What's going on? 614. Move on to the next caller, 201. You're live on the air with Real Deal. What's going on, 201?
Hello?
Hi, 201. Yeah. What's your question? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, do you have a question?
Oh, yeah. No, it was good, yo. I be following you on Twitter, you know what I mean? But Real Deal, you know what I mean? I respect you, know what I mean? Because actually, I didn't even know who you was until I actually saw the Cortez battle, you feel me? And I wasn't even on Cortez until I saw Shotgun Suge, but I would definitely, you know what I mean, like to see you verse like a Averb or Big T, because I honestly, I think you know what I mean, top dog, like you can get one of those high names. Like I understand, like you on the grind, feel me? Like, I mean, I respect you though, like, and I respect what you're saying. I mean, race, even though it's, you know what I mean, you white, but that shit ain't even matter. Like, ball for ball, like I think you got it though. Like, you know what I mean, real talk.
My man, thank you, brother. I appreciate that, bro.
No problem.
Yeah,
Averb
and Big T definitely real dope, man. I was absolutely, man. I was, you know, Big T's last performance, man. I really think, small venue or not, was one of the best I've seen in URL ever. I'm gonna be honest with you. That was just crazy. I'm waiting for the Averb hit, man, because Averb been in my top like battlers, man, but the last couple, I don't see the hunger back yet. So I'm waiting for that Hitman shit. But yeah, both of them would be great battles.
I tell you right now, that battle was the best you've ever seen Averb in against Hitman, and it was the best you've ever seen Hitman. When I tell you it reminded me of Hagler Returns. This battle is definitely is going to be the battle of the year. I don't know if I've ever seen a battle better. That's just how crazy this battle is. When it drops, I think it drops in about 2-3 weeks. I think it drops in 2 weeks. We're trying to put it as fast as possible. Insane. Trust me.
Oh, that's dope, man. That's dope. I've been waiting for that Verb to come back, man. That Verb to battle Math and Hollow, man. I thought that's the A-game Verb, right? SB, that's the A-game Verb. I've been waiting for that Verb to come back, so I can't wait to see that shit. You know what I mean? I honestly was one of them dudes beforehand that thought Verb would probably beat him handily, so I'm real anxious to see the footage because, you know what I mean?
Anyway. 818-641, you're live on the air. What's going on, 818?
Hi. North.
Oh, what's up?
Treated chill.
What's up?
I have a question for Real Joe. There's one question. You know how Clean Paper, B-Magic, and John, they all came from, you know, they were battling on other leagues before they came to URL, but they still had to do the PG when they came into URL. But you went straight to the main stage. Do you think you feel like people want to pick on you or feel like you didn't earn that spot? Like, you know what I mean? Like, before you didn't go to no PG, just went straight to the main stage?
I don't think, because I think most people know who I am. You know what I mean? I think, and it's not like they didn't know who John or Clean Paper or B-Magic was, but I think because I did have a couple real high-profile battles, I think that they, for some reason or other, didn't have, it seemed to me, I could be wrong, like I said, because sometimes I don't catch up on my battles as much as I should, and I know all three dudes are crazy dope with it, in my opinion. Clearly they're on the main stage now for a reason, and I think that's, you know what I mean, a great thing. That's why I do have a lot of fans that were like, yo, like, you know, who from my end of it were like, I don't know who B-Magic is, like, you should have been like Verb or some. I'm like, come on, man, you know what I mean? Like, they don't see the big picture. So, no, I definitely can see what you're saying. I don't think, at least not that I know of, you know, and it could be an angle used against me, I guess, but I don't think I would catch a whole lot of flack. I think it'll be similar to the SoCon situation. But I don't know if Proving Grounds was around at that time. But, you know, no, I have a tremendous amount of respect for all three of them, especially for going through that process like they did. So we'll see. I mean, it definitely could get brought to the light, you know what I mean? But, no, I don't think I was given, like, any special treatment or anything like that, you know what I mean?
So, PZ Fresh, you're live on the air with Real Deal. What's on your mind, PZ?
Well, what's going on?
704. What up, PZ?
I was just listening in.
All right, 704, you're live on the air. 704, what's on your mind? Going one more. 818, you're live on the air. 818-427. What's on your mind? 818-427.
Yo, what's up? It's 818. How you doing?
What's going on?
Real deal. Hey, props to you, man. I respect a lot of your battles, bro, and you be doing your thing. I heard you mention about the Big T was one of the best performances that you had ever seen. So how would you score that Big T Sue Surf battle?
I thought, man, I thought, and what the craziest part is, it was one of the best from Sue Surf. Like, I thought that was, you know, I know he did his thing versus X Factor, but sometimes I think, like, Sue Surf's delivery is so good and he's so animated and loud that, you know what I mean, he can make up for bars that aren't on that level with his delivery. But I thought his performance was great too. But I really did think Big T took it 2-1, but it was like a comfortable 2-1. You know what I mean? Like, by no means am I saying, like, you know, notice I didn't say he bodied Sue.
Oh, right.
But I definitely think that, you know, Big T probably took the first and third. Just, I mean, his angles, his creativity. I just really thought on every front he beat Surf. I thought Surf, I think, might have edged the second, or even a push. But no, I thought definitely Big T took that. It's probably 2-1 I would have scored it.
How do you think Big T is going to fare against Charlie Clips?
I didn't even know about Charlie Clips' freestyle ability until we were in New York and we were at that event that I battled Money. He got up on stage, they were doing like the cypher to go around, and this dude just freestyled his whole, you know, and I'm talking about like free, like I can tell the difference between a freestyle and some shit he just had on him. So, and from what I heard, his freestyle game came to light in that battle against X Factor. So, I would really want to know what the time limits are with that, because that's one thing I would like to see about Big T, because if it's like an unlimited round or something, that's going to be insane, man. I think Big T's pen game is right now is up there with anybody's. Is that a 3-round? That's a tough one to call. That's a tough one to call, man, because that's in Chicago, too. I don't think Big T battled at a home crowd yet.
No, this is Big T's first home game, I'll tell you that.
That's going to be...
Oh, sorry, 732, live on the air with Real Deal. 732, you got a question?
Nah, I ain't got a question.
All right, 773-600. Last caller we'll go to 773-600. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I got a question for Real Deal, and I also wanted to comment on that Big T and Charlie Clips. I think I'm going with Big T on that one. In Chicago, I'm from Chicago. I'm still going with Big T. And Real Deal, what's your top 5 active battle rappers?
Real Deal, we still got you. Oh, sorry, Real Deal, we still got you with us?
Yep.
Yo, Real Deal, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, Real Deal. My question was, what are your top 5 active battle rappers right now?
I would say, and this is just me personally, and you know, they change obviously at times on performances. I would say, in no order, Disaster, Hollow to Dawn. I would say, oh man, Calico. Man, Big T, it's tough not to put. Immaculate and Pat Stay, I would say those, and so many obviously like real, you know, interchangeable, like, you know, somebody has it like Big T off that Sue Surf alone, you know, I could put in. But those 5, I think, I'm always super entertained, and I can always leave with, you know what I mean, just my head just, you know, blown like damn, you know what I mean, but yeah, those will be my 5 probably.
Okay, that's a good top 5.
Real Deal, thanks a lot for coming on URL's Battle Rap Arena. Where can we catch you? Twitter, whatever. Sell yourself.
Twitter's just Real Deal PGH. You can always holler at me, you know what I'm saying? Check the site out, realdealraps.com. You know what I mean? Facebook, It's a real deal. You can hit me up, Trevor Well. I'm one of the most personal MCs out there, man. Just, definitely thanks for having me on, too. We're going to see some shit at the end of March, man. So it should be real interesting, man. I look forward to coming back, man. But, yeah, definitely thanks for having me out. Feel free to get at me anytime.
I think. Norbs, any last words?
If you ever ready to battle me, you're dead. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, man, we might have to battle in the hill now. You might have to come to the HI Double to battle me now. Maybe we can battle in front of a school auditorium or some shit.
I ain't gonna lie, I was a little nervous, man. These dudes was outside like it was nothing, and it was crazy, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. Pittsburgh is definitely a crazy city, but I love the city of Pittsburgh. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Versus Arsenal. The first round, when I ended my verse, I said, 30 out the long john, get him the fuck out of here. And everybody went nuts.
I give him 30 out the long face, get him the fuck out of here.
A year later, got some kid with no tooth doing the same shit that I've been doing for years.
I always come with bars, I always come with creative shit, I always do something out the box, I always make history, you know what I mean?
You wanna be me, nigga, you wanna be me, but you can't beat me. Since you can't beat me, I'm gonna beat you.
You know what I mean? A lot of niggas are scared of this nigga, I don't understand why. The nigga's just funny. The nigga ain't never said a good rhyme or a good line to me that made me say, ooh.
You battling against greatness, you battling against the team with a fucking capital, nigga. Is you serious?
Niggas can't predict what I do. Not anymore. I let that slip one time, but never again. I'm unpredictable for the most part. You know what I mean? I'm creative. I got some of the best bars, delivery, my energy, my aggression. Niggas can't match that, man. That's why I'm who I am, man. That's why I'm being there.
You can bring your freestyle tactics out. You can bring your rebuttal tactics out. You can bring the whole fucking Queens if you want. None of that shit is gonna work.
Every battle I go into, I'm the underdog. And I still come out rocking. Against Big T, I was the underdog. Against Young Ill, I was the underdog. Against X Factor, I was the underdog. Against Disaster, I was the underdog. So it's nothing new. I want y'all to think Tech Nine is going to win. I want y'all to think he's going to 3-0 me. But when I get in that ring and do what I always do, y'all going to have the puzzle face.
They don't know how to battle me. How can you battle a fan favorite? It's impossible. How can you battle somebody that knows what they're doing? How can you battle somebody that the crowd loves?
It don't scare me at all. It makes me laugh. You can't be scared of a nigga that makes you laugh.
I'm the champion. I am the champion. There's only one champion in URL. That's me. One. That's me. Period.
Every time y'all think I'm going to lose, I'm still here. I'm still here. And that's all I'm going to prove on March 25th.
You battling against second round, one of the best niggas that ever did it. I changed the game forever. March 25th, I'm coming for you. DNA, done.
Y'all gonna see why Tech Nine's not really who Tech Nine is. He's never been against nothing like this before, ever in his career, ever.